Hey guys, today you're going to get one big sheet of white paper. You're also going to need one black crayon, and you'll need one worksheet off of the front table. We're going to start off by putting our name on the back of our big sheet of white paper. Mr. Calvert, you are my one, and then whatever class you're in, so A, B, or C. Flip it over. Today we're going to be drawing a cat inspired by Laurel Burch, who is that lady who made those super cool pattern cats. This worksheet breaks down how to do it step by step, so if you just follow the numbers 1, 2, 3 all the way to 9, you should have an amazing looking cat. When we look at the cat's head, I'm going to put it up at the top because my cat needs to be the size of my paper, and the cat's head is kind of like a W that's rounded at the bottom. So I'm going to make a nice big head like this. Looks like I have to add some ears. The ears look like they're almost like a triangle or an upside down V. If you need to erase, we do have cups of erasers at your table. Step number 3, looks like I just have to draw a line that connects the ears, like that. Step 4, I'm going to add this little V shape. Just like that. Alright, so I started with my W-shaped head, the 2 triangle ears, then I connected them, then I added that V shape. Step number 5, looks like I'm drawing 2 vertical lines coming up from the edge of that nose, like this. It's going to be the bridge of the nose. Step 6, drawing these 2 curved horizontal lines for the eyes. And step 7 has me finishing the eyes with that bottom curve, as well as the bottom of the mouth. And it needs some pupils. So you could give them some oval pupils, or you could give them more of those cat-like eyes, which are usually kind of pointed at the top and bottom, like an ellipses. Here's where things start to get a little bit tougher, is when we get to the body. So I'm going to draw a vertical line straight down from my cat's head, almost to the bottom of my paper. So we want to fill up that paper. And I need this curved line on the back. Just like this. I'm not going to do the whiskers because when I go to cut this out next class, I might accidentally cut off his whiskers. So I'm actually going to save the whiskers to the very end of the project. So don't sweat it if you don't draw them. I'm going to draw these legs now. You can see here that it just rounds the bottom. I'm going to skip this part because I know I'm going to have to erase it to fix the legs. So I'm just going to skip that part and go right to the legs, which is a vertical line. You kind of got these rounded horizontals. Got my legs. I need to do this part where its booty is. Curve that. And the very last thing is I need to add a tail. Your tail doesn't have to be this curved shape. You can think about some of the different lines that you know. Maybe you want a tail that looks like an angle. Maybe you want a tail that's more like a spiral. Maybe you want a curved tail. Think about what kind of tail you want to do. So I'm going to draw starting at the bottom. Make sure it's not just a line. It's got to come back down the other side, alright? It's not just a curved line. It's got to come up to the top and come back down. When you get this far, you need to trace everything with a black crayon. Alright, so I've got them all traced. I drew them, I traced them. My very last step today is I'm going to use some of the crayons at my table to add some cool patterns, kind of like Laurel Burch had. You might not finish your patterns today. If you don't, that's fine. We'll have some time next time too. Remember, the pattern has to repeat. So I can't just draw a bunch of curved lines like I'm doing right now. I need to add something else to these to make them to make them into a pattern, because I need at least two things. So maybe I'll do that curved line. Maybe I'll do maybe I'll do an angle in between them. So some good spots to put patterns are the legs. Another good spot would be the tail. Remember that your pattern doesn't just have to be lines. It could also be shapes. Alright, so we've got patterns on the legs, we've got patterns on the tail. I think the last good spot to make a pattern is the body, because you got a lot of this body area. So again, it's got to be something that repeats. So I'm doing some spirals, but this isn't a pattern because I don't have two different things. So I got some spirals, and I'll do some polka dots. Alright, when you get this far, you're done for the day. This is going to go on the drying rack. Remember that I start off by drawing my cat, making sure it's the size of my paper. Then I traced him with a black crayon. Then I added some patterns. Remember to think about what kind of patterns you want to do. Don't do the same pattern over and over. I did 3 different patterns on my cat. In the next class, we'll be painting these.